Welcome to this video in which I'm going to be showing you how to tackle the application essays of University of California, Berkeley, Haas School of Management. So if you're applying to Haas this year, make sure that you watch this video till the end. I'm going to be giving you a lot of actionable tips. Let's look at the school before we get any further, right? So what is Haas Berkeley really known for? If you were to ask me, the first thing that comes to mind is entrepreneurship. The fact that it's in the Silicon Valley, right, means that it has given birth to a lot of startups. So very well entrenched in the startup community. So I would say that's a huge plus point, the location. The second point is also if you feel that technology is going to be one of the driving forces for any company in the future, and every company is going to be looking at technology as a core part of the business, right? No longer is it IT systems, right? It's any business you take, we are talking about digitization. So I think that is also the power of Silicon Valley, the fact that you are right in the center of it. Other thing is, if you look at it from a cultural perspective, Haas Berkeley, or rather Berkeley, right, the place itself has been known for, flower power and, the 1969, this whole free movement that you had. And that kind of culture sustains even now. So if you look at certain areas in which they work, such as sustainability, right, they are right there up on the top. So I would say that's another thing that you need to know about the culture. In fact, my suggestion would be if you go to their website, they have something called their defining leadership principles. So if you look at it, it is, they say, our 4 defining leadership principles: question the status quo, confidence without attitude, students always, and beyond yourself, right? So I think it's good for you to also get to know their culture, because they love it when people are able to identify their larger purpose and their larger cause. And I'm going to be getting into the MBA applications very soon, but I will tell you why it is important for us to know all of this before we get started, right? So that's as far as the school. One more thing about the school is also I would like to point out to the fact that there is a very, there is a community that's very close-knit. So if you look at the way school cultures work, in the Silicon Valley, you have 2 top schools. You have Stanford and you have Berkeley, and they are literally on the same 101, you get to Palo Alto, you get to Berkeley, but the culture in each of these campuses would be very different. So I just wanted you to understand that, and we will look at the essays that they have for this year, and it will reflect why they are so keen on understanding that. So the first one, the first of the required essay is: what makes you feel alive when you are doing it, and why? And this is a 300-word essay. Now, what are they really looking for, right? It's a very confusing question. What makes you feel alive, right? Maybe there are many things that make you feel excited. Maybe you like to bungee jump, right? But what they are really looking at is they are looking at a larger purpose. They are asking, why is it that you are doing whatever you are doing? And if I were to give you an analogy again over here, think of it as the Simon Sinek's the 3 circles, the concentric circles. You might have seen it, where he says you start with the why. In fact, he wrote a book on that topic, and then you go to the how and the what, right? So I think at the end he's asking, what's your purpose? So let me try to answer this one. What makes me feel alive is when I'm in front of students teaching them, be it in a classroom or be it in a digital format. That's what really, peps me up in the morning to wake up and do something. So I think that's what they are really looking at, right? So if you have something that has been your calling in life, the other thing that may happen is you may have been doing it in, different ways. It's not necessary that you may be involved in it full time, correct? It could be a passion or a hobby for all that you know, right? But the idea is to also showcase how, if that is such a big calling in your life, how is it that you have been able to pursue some of it, right? So for example, if I were to say that I love teaching, probably they're going to ask me, well, how many students do you teach, and how many videos do you have, things like that, right? But that's the secondary bit. I don't want you to focus on that. That is the part that is already given to them in your resume, in your application form. They are asking, why did you do all of those things that you did? Now, I know it's a tough question, but you have 300 words to answer it. So I wouldn't really recommend a structure, but I would like to focus on the why part of it. Don't just talk about what makes you feel alive, right? Why does it make you feel alive? I want to get a little bit inside your head, right, to understand the motivation behind what you do. As I said, I don't like giving a structure, but a lot of times students come and say, Arun, what could be a structure over here? So the first thing I would say is upfront, you need to state that particular thing, right? So it could be something as simple. It could be like playing a sport, right? Though you are not a professional in that sport, if whenever you play that sport, there is something that makes you feel alive, and maybe there is something that you have done in your past in terms of social work, right? It could be anything, but it has to be something that you have done for a sustained period of time, correct? So I would say first, tell what is that activity that makes you feel alive. I would say spend no more than 100 words describing it, but I would invest the rest of the 200 words also telling about my thought process of why I feel so and how I wish to kind of maybe hone that skill or something of that sort, right? So that's what my recommendation would be. Let's get to the second required essay. The second required essay is again 300 words. Here it says the definition of successful leadership has evolved over the last decade and will continue to change. What do you need to develop to become a successful leader? Now, I think there is a little bit of clue given to you in the prompt that the definition of leadership has changed. See, if you see, go back to the time that maybe your parents were, in their 20s, right? The kind of jobs that they worked, there was a command and control, right? So you had a manager giving an order, and then it kind of goes down to the last person in the chain of command. But today what has happened is there is a democratization of decision making. People are realizing that if I get this really smart coder or really smart product manager, okay, who's maybe 26, right? Maybe he's just out of college, not even 26, maybe just 22, just out of college, right? But is one of the most brilliant product managers, right? So by the way, the example that I'm giving is Marissa Mayers. If you think about it, right? She was the product manager at Google. It's like a pretty tough job, but it wasn't because of her experience, right? So people are also looking at potential. That are the people who are actually contributing, how much of voice do they have. Now, in such a scenario, what is also happening is new changes are coming in. See, the world today is in the mix of unprecedented times, and this is a word that you have kept perhaps hearing a lot through this summer, but that's really the case, right? So B schools are saying that when something like a COVID happens, do you have the kind of leadership to make those bold decisions that are maybe required for your company, correct? Now I want you to again go back to the culture, right, of Haas Berkeley. How does that fit in, right? So that's what I would like to also understand. What is your leadership style? What do you need to develop? See, the other thing is you have to explain your leadership style, but you also need to say what are the things you hope to develop in that leadership style. So one of the examples I can give you is for you to become a leader, you need to be more self-aware. So you could say that as a leader, one of the things that I need to develop is, this whole area of what I don't know that I don't know. See, think about it. There are things that you know that you don't know. There are things that you know, correct? Your learning is not going to come in a B school from just learning those specific things. Right? There is also this thing of putting myself into the unknown, exploring uncharted territories, by which I will get to know things that I did not know, correct? Now that I know that I don't know, but that's still better than not knowing that that blind spot even existed, Correct? So that's one such example, right? So you need to be telling about leadership, talking about leadership, again about 300 words. My suggestion would be, again, give 100 words about your definition of leadership and about 200 words on the development. Again, I would like to pick some examples over here. So when you talk about the examples, don't get into details, because in 300 words you will not have a lot to develop about that example. But I would probably say, in such a situation, or based on your post MBA goal, right? And your post MBA goal will be based on what you have written in your previous essay, which is what makes you alive. So I am assuming that your goal is based on that. So here is a chance for you to tie it back to that goal and say, in order for me to get to that goal, these are the things, these are the skill sets that I need to develop as a leader. For example, one more expectation from leadership could be your expectation that I need to know how to work in a global environment. Today what has happened is, though boundaries are the borders are being closed, the electronic commerce industry has not really stopped, correct? So there is a lot of digital transactions happening where you need to work with people across cultures. In fact, many companies today are not averse to hiring people from other countries, because really what you need is a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection, right? So that's what you need to also probably think of, that if I am going to be in such a leader in such an era, what are the kind of qualities, what are the kind of leadership skills I need to develop in myself. Now, they also have optional essays. There are 2 optional essays. One of them is the standard optional essay, which is there anything else in your application that is not mentioned, like something that you think you need to address. Typically, it could be a work gap. If you are laid off or you were out of job for some time, perfectly okay. You just need to explain the circumstances. They don't see that as a negative. The second thing is, they could look at things where academically, if you want to explain maybe your GMAT score or maybe your undergrad, if there are certain things, then use it. But please don't unnecessarily take their attention to something that you think in your mind is a deficiency, but they are not even probably noticing. So I think there is a thin line to thread over there. But here is the second optional essay, which is a little interesting and a little different from what we have in other schools. So they say, we invite you to help us understand better, and they have given a list of things like, what are the educational qualities of your parents, what is your recent occupation, whether you were raised by a single parent, whether you lived in a foster care, right? These are all things they say will influence who you are. Correct? So, and then there are a lot of other questions. There are about 5 questions. At the end, they also say, please elaborate on any of your above responses. So there is a 300-word opportunity if you feel that you come from a disadvantaged background that you would like to mention over here. And you also have places to fill community, professional organizations, extracurricular activities, all of that you have done, right? So all of it would be given there. Okay, so that's pretty much from the application perspective. So I hope you liked what we had for you in this video. I tried to share what you could think about, in terms of writing, but I'm pretty sure you have a lot of questions and you're probably thinking in your mind, well, is there something else that I could look, because my situation is slightly different and I would like to talk to someone. Then please do let us know. The details are provided in the link below, but you can also let us know in the details on this video, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. If this video was helpful to you, please do follow our channel, do subscribe, like this video, and if you have any questions about what I just said, let me know in the comments below. We will make sure that someone responds to it. Thank you very much, and all the best with your applications.